All right, recorder John. What's that?
I'm just waiting for you to call the meeting to order.
I am. I'm going to say the meeting is now in order at 8:30 on the 29th of October. And we're here to discuss the way forward with the three candidates. And before we start talking about candidates, I would like to say, why don't we talk about the process a little? I know what we're going to do as we go forward. I know Wendy's put some thoughts together about what's going to happen next. So if you would want to share those with us, please, it'd be great.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I was just, based on the, I would just say based on the level of the candidates, I would love to see us rank them. So as in, do not eliminate, given that we don't know what will happen. I actually would like to see us rank them, and then potentially, I guess, there would have to be a motion, but to extend an offer based to the first candidate, and then, we had a different process. We had a much different process last time because there was only one person in the final interviews. But then at the end of the day, we kind of had empty hands. And we, I know I'm sharing a little opinion here, but we have a strong candidate pool, and we know that not everything always works out. So I would just like to see us not necessarily say, hey, this is the final person, but I would like to see us rank them, perhaps.
Okay.
How we do that is probably a little trickier, that I haven't really, so that therefore the gathering of the thoughts stopped kind of right there.
Okay.
May I ask you, Sean?
Yes, sir.
How did you guys do it with former Director Walker? How did you do it? Because I wasn't involved with that. I'm just curious.
We had five, I think we had 5 final candidates when we did that group. And what we did is we also ranked them 1 through 5.
Okay.
And from that, we Director Walker, Bill was the first pick, so we then had somebody enter into negotiations, extend an offer to him.
Okay.
So, and the way that was done was somebody made a motion, then it was discussed, and that was pretty much across the board. That one was pretty easy. We could do this one of 2 ways, because it's hard to make a motion, because then you're going to have, well, amend the motion, and then we get into that silly game instead of just being a clear process. And so what we can do is we can go around the table and we can all say, give us 1 through 3, since we know there's 3 candidates, and top to bottom, and then if somebody wants to make a motion based on that, then we can go forward. So, does anybody have any further thoughts?
Processing.
The processing is good.
Before we get into that, I just want to sit there and say that all 3 candidates were done with. Everybody did an awesome job.
Yep.
And it's going to be a hard decision. But everybody was awesome.
I would say I've done this 3 times now, and I feel that this is the most talent across the board that I've seen personally. So,
I believe it said earlier that we feel that we are definitely in a rich environment when it comes to the last 3 candidates, because all 3 candidates were fantastic. I mean, it was better to have too much than it was to be scraping the bottom, and we're definitely at the top here. It was pleasant. So,
since we're talking about the process, before we go, are we still going to go down that road to where whomever the number 1 pick is determined to be, that would all be contingent upon, before we enter into contract negotiation, contingent on a background check?
yes.
First of all, and whatever that entails, and at the same time, we're still going to want to bring that person in for an interview, including taking a tour of the facility, meeting the senior staff, right? Aren't we?
Yes.
Okay.
What we talked about during the process prior to today's meeting was having that last candidate have a half day, which we will have the activities. We will plan those activities as the board,
Okay.
and those activities will be touring the facility. meeting the senior staff, viewing some of the programs, and the dialogue with us that day, and that would be the final.
So I just want to be clear, so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So if we have that list and we bring whoever that person
Mhm.
is, assuming they pass the background check and they come in, and if during that time period, you know, the thing blows apart, you know,
Mhm.
either the background check comes back with
Mhm.
something, or, you know, they're, you know, whatever
Whatever.
whatever that is, or if during that final interview, we're like, hey, look, you know, this just isn't that person,
Mhm.
or are we deciding tonight that if the background check goes through, the person is good?
What we
Because, yeah.
said, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I-
Go ahead.
Because
It's open for discussion.
Because
I just wanna
you
make
said,
sure.
well, but based on what we said, there would be a final interview.
Okay, that's what I
So
thought.
I believe, so
Okay.
in keeping with that,
Yeah.
the motion
Okay.
would need to include bringing that person for a final interview.
That's what I thought. I
Right.
just wanna
Yeah,
make sure.
no.
The offer's
you're
not
right.
extended until after the final interview was the way we had discussed.
So that goes to, so then if something were to happen, background check,
Right.
final interview, and we decide, you know what, we want to go to candidate 2.
Yes,
Okay. I just want to make sure that I understood this.
yes, oh
Okay.
yeah,
Or also if the person, for whatever reason,
decides they don't want it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think another thing, so again, just to throw in as well, I think the other contingencies are a reference check, which we
Yeah,
did
yeah,
last
we
time.
did,
So,
yeah.
and then the other one I would just think is a smart thing for us to do is just to check with our insurance company. We have a new insurance company, and just to navigate with them in case they have any advice or information for us.
We will actually have the contract reviewed with the insurance company prior to having it signed by either party.
I was-
Okay, but even before contract extension, I guess, has
Right.
anyone talked to them about if they have additional?
No, we haven't talked to,
So it
yeah,
just, you know, in terms of anything that they would like to see us do, you know, the reason I bring it up, as fun as insurance really is, you know, we're paying now $10,000 more a year, or in that, and we can't afford that, but we have no choice. And I just don't want to see us do anything that's going to add additional risk.
so I am on shift tomorrow. Can you contact the insurance
That
company
sounds
tomorrow?
like so much fun, being that I already expressed my interest in
Yeah.
insurance. No, of course I will.
Thank you very
As far as
much.
the background check,
Yes, sir.
are we going to go through tracers like we have been? But also, we had discussed, you know, does that background check go out and does it look for, you know, potential lawsuits?
I don't believe the background check does. You know, on the,
You know, it looks for the criminal, it looks for
Yeah,
sexual, it
yeah.
looks for driving record, credit rating, and all that stuff.
I don't think you can sit there and have a background check that's gonna look for potential,
no,
because the thing about it is, until it's decided, you know, you really
Yeah.
can't
Okay,
look at somebody and have problems.
okay, thank
yeah,
you.
But
Okay.
another recommendation as far as, I know you mentioned as far as having the contract looked over by the insurance company, but I would highly recommend that we have the lawyer look it over.
see,
with
yeah.
insurance.
Nathan Manning's father has taken over Nathan's duties as our legal
Good.
advisor.
Okay.
And he has agreed,
Yeah.
I think actually to a lower rate than Nathan was giving us.
Woohoo.
Don't quote me on that because
Yeah.
she gave me the numbers the other day and I didn't have a reference. So, but Nathan Senior is going to do that and he knows this is on the horizon. So he has time set aside to look at the contract for us also. So yes, our legal, our lawyer for the district will look at and review the contract.
No, I've had some legal advice from Nathan, not from Nathan, but from his dad, I can't remember right now. But I don't
Mr.
have.
Manning.
Mr. Manning will work.
Ken.
There it is.
And there's, I don't know if I need to disclose it or not, but, you know, I've had some legal dealings with him and stuff like that. You know, got no problems with him at all.
Okay, good. And there's no conflict of interest there
Good.
because he represents the district, so
Okay.
you're good. Thank you. Further discussion? All right. So we'll go ahead and rank.
Could I,
Yes,
I would like
yes,
to
ma'am.
make a suggestion that rather than starting at Cecil and going around,
I was gonna
have
say.
everyone write it on a piece of paper.
Hmm,
And put your name on it and then it'll be read out. But because if Cecil starts and says it, that can influence how your ranking is. you might not think it, but it,
So write it down.
Oh, okay.
write it down with your name, and then
And
you
then-
can, you can announce it. Does
All right.
that make sense to you?
Yes.
Part of the official record where, like she said.
Well, why don't we just, no, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
My brother may have a piece of
You,
paper.
you certainly may.
also?
Yes, you may.
And I'm the secretary, I should have that.
I was about to say,
Exactly, I'm like, apparently my 8.5 by 11 is not
He had it
the.
out, it was just right there.
Anybody else?
Not either.
And these records,
I'm almost out.
and for the minutes, these records will be collected by the secretary and entered into
Yeah, Sean.
the,
Marine map.
these papers would be entered into public records.
Yes, they will.
The guy voted twice.
Don't even say it.
Come on. I'm thinking harder about this than I did getting married.
Somebody not, there's so many weird comments to make.
You know, no, I'm not gonna say that, whether,
You know, you should never let people start something at 2 and, just saying. You know what I'm saying?
and as Sister Mary Evelyn would say years ago in Catholic school, class, please pass your papers all the way to the right. No,
This is really.
this is not hard. I mean, it's very hard.
gut-wrenching. Or maybe that was the pizza.
Maybe it was the
Sorry.
pizza.
It was not the pizza. It was not the pizza.
Like the guy on Survivor.
Is there going to be any white smoke?
Is there-
It's going to be black smoke because we haven't elected a new pope. All right, I will now read the tallies here. I'll start with mine.
Okay.
Just, my order was Steve McCaslin, Boyce Jeffries, and TJ Harmon. Donna Sue's was Steve McCaslin, Boyce Jeffries, and TJ. Commissioner Hoffmeyer was Steve McCaslin, TJ Harmon, and Boyce Jeffries. Cecil Pierce was Boyce Jeffries, Steve McCaslin, and TJ Harmon. Wendy Shingleton was Steve McCaslin, Boyce Jeffries, and TJ Harmon. Even without the chair's vote, and the reason I voted only was in case of a tie, taking that out, I believe Steve McCaslin is first, followed by Boyce Jeffries, and then TJ Harmon.
I move that we make an offer to,
We're not making an offer tonight. We're going to confirm a list of 1 to 3 or not.
Okay.
So I hate to interrupt you,
All right,
and I apologize. So-
Okay, then I move that the list 1 through 3 should be Steve McCaslin, Boyce Jeffries, TJ Harmon.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
1 second.
Discussion. No discussion.
To reiterate once again, and I think I speak for the whole
Yeah,
board.
please.
Thank you, TJ. Thank you to Boyce Jeffries and to Steve. I mean, it was incredibly difficult. And I know that you all did too. I went home, it was like on the way home, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. And I honestly would have been happy with any of the 3.
Oh, God,
And
yes.
I know that's probably no consolation to people necessarily, but you
We
have
don't know what's
amazing
gonna happen
talent.
yet, though. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but thank you.
No, I'd like to thank.
Thank you for bringing that up, yes.
No, I mean, we don't know not, one, we don't know how this is all gonna flesh out, and two, I think
Thank you.
that's, I would be more than happy and comfortable with any,
The final three.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's this feeling of riches, and then it's like, now we have to choose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's difficult.
I'm good.
I've been thinking about this for a while, and it was difficult. But again, everybody brings numerous strengths to this here.
You know, honestly.
And I think,
I'm sorry.
in all winners, is this district,
Yeah.
because I think whoever gets it, I'll leave it right there. I think will do an awesome job, and I think they bring to the table some of that skills to deal with difficult circumstances, people, and stuff like that. And I also think they can go to the community and ask for help from other people too.
Yes.
Thanks.
And I don't know if this is out of line, but even the people who finished fourth and fifth.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They too were extremely talented.
Yes.
And this whole thing has been difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it
Yeah.
great for the district that it was this difficult for us
Yes.
to
Yeah.
make a
Yes.
decision? And I think that's what everybody was trying to say, so it's been great.
Okay.
That being said, is there any further discussion?
Do we need any other motion in relation to,
We can get to that in a minute.
okay?
We still have the motion on the table.
Yeah, I can't discuss another motion while there's a motion on the table.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, forgot.
All in favor of the list?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Hey, Chairman Merrill, is there another motion we need to make?
Actually, we need to set a date, yes, Vice Chair. We need to set a date for the final, for the half-day interview with all of us. And without waiting too long, what does everybody's availability look like? Of course, we'll have to check with Mr. McCaslin to find out what his availability is.
So next week we have Tuesday and Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, already set.
Tuesday's the budget, Thursday is it?
It's not next Tuesday, that's the
Yeah.
following
Is it the
Tuesday.
following- that's right.
It's, so, yeah.
Next Thursday is the only, for next week, the only meeting we have is at 5:30 on Thursdays. And then the one on Tuesday. So,
What's
wasn't it?
5:30 Thursday?
It has to do with
That was the
NWAC.
anti-parent.
It's the
Sorry,
NWAC, next phase, next
Yes.
step. What are we gonna do?
Okay, gotcha. I'm tracking. So, that being said, next.
I'm good any evening next week except Friday.
Yeah, Friday's really bad.
Do you wanna, well, because we're supposed to have, if it's supposed to be the half day, it has to be during business hours, does it not?
Should
Yes,
be.
it should be. yeah.
Do we want to start with lunch somewhere and then,
Do we want them to meet with, for example, the staff? Is that the thought? Or
yeah, a tour of the facility, meet with the staff?
Well, then we probably ought to find out what's optimum for them. I mean,
Can we,
Do you guys know with
Only
anything that's
is-
coming up next week? Or can I ask that? Sorry.
Thursday's probably not a good day, but other than that,
what's Friday look like?
I think it's okay.
Friday's nice because it's chill.
Mm-hmm.
It's Friday. Chill, like, I'm gonna go home after that and not go back to work. What?
That just explained everything, by the way. That just explained everything right there. Chill. You know.
That was always the day I was working my butt off so I wouldn't have to come to work on Saturday.
So, back to Friday the 6th. Back to Friday the 6th. Friday afternoon on the 6th.
It works.
Does that work with everybody?
It's, I don't know when
No,
it,
well, I have a bed appointment.
it doesn't really work for me.
Dog.
Yeah, we
Okay.
won't be here.
Dog.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's at 4 o'clock, so as long as I'm done before now.
Hold on.
He's in the
There's
middle.
nothing
We can't reschedule.
Well, yeah, there is.
Okay, you know what? I'll put my sister off for another week. So, because this is more important. We have to do this so we can get a new director
Her,
in
her
place.
closets will hold over.
This is the other sister.
Didn't sound Right.
Is another sister has clean air closets in Utah.
I got, moving on. So 6,
The
we're gonna go,
6th.
are we gonna go the 6th in the afternoon?
As long as I have to leave here by 3 something or come after that, but,
You
yeah.
can just make sure you have your say.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Take that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll
also,
take
we
that
gotta
long.
remember to sit there, read a set of time if we want them to meet, if we want them to meet the staff.
Right.
So, I mean, if we have lunch, whatever, it's still like 2 o'clock or whatever.
Is Friday a good time for you guys? Will it work? Do you know if the interim director will be here at that time?
She should be.
Because we would, I think.
Yes.
And the other staff, not, but I mean, you know.
What time is Masters over with?
Masters gets over at
1?
1:15.
So if we meet with a candidate for lunch, and
12
then
o'clock for lunch.
12 o'clock for lunch at Flyers. What's that?
Nothing.
You don't like flowers?
No, I did not that. I didn't say that. I knew that's where it was gonna be. I just knew that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Where would you like to go? Yeah,
No,
I'm off for
Flyers
someplace
fine.
else.
I was simply saying, yeah, call that. Yeah, that's all.
Is that an easy place to talk?
Honestly, would be coffee.
Yeah, wherever.
Would be coffee for lunch?
Well,
They got lunch.
yeah.
I think better lunch. I would say Flyers would be better for lunch than Whidbey Coffee. I love Whidbey Coffee. We go there for coffee
We
do
all the
love
time,
coffee.
but not for lunch.
There we go. Say
Well,
what?
well, my question with flyers and stuff, I mean, how easy can you talk there and stuff?
Yeah.
It's kind of noisy. I don't think that's a better place to.
I
Because this is a business lunch.
Yes, it
That's what
is.
it is.
I kind of like the barbecue joint there. I kind of like that.
What?
The barbecue joint.
Yeah.
I like the barbecue joint. They have good food.
I know. So do I.
We could talk there.
Let's do it.
That's usually, you usually can talk there better than flyers, I think.
Okay, so I'm gonna write it down.
The joint.
The joint at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock p.m.
See, that may have been too chill. I'm not sure.
This is
joint.
Washington.
We'll have to be done at 2:30 that day because I do have my child, my father-in-law has surgery, so I will have to leave.
Friday?
Oh yeah. So,
Would you want to push that to 11 o'clock for lunch?
that might work better for me.
Let's
Can we
do
do
that.
11 o'clock for lunch? Can everybody
Yes.
make 11?
Yes.
That would be better. Thank you.
I think it's imperative that everyone's there. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as much as possible. Well, first of all, we have to be there for the final part when we vote, because I hope we have all 5 people, if that's who we choose.
Yes, good point. So if we start at 11 o'clock and end we should be done by 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Can't vote till the background check's done.
No, that's correct.
But isn't the
So,
We
background
should be
be
able to-
done between now and then?
Well,
it takes 24 or 72?
That's
Not even.
well, but
Okay.
it's a week from now.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so.
It's a week, so the background check will be done by then, you think?
Absolutely.
Thank
Do we
you.
need permission for that?
We probably would want his consent for that, and I believe that we need to obtain his birth date for it.
So if we could send him an email, actually, I'll send him an email tonight and ask him to respond to all. It'll be with admin and me.
Okay.
And I will set up a lunch at 11 p.m. at the barbecue joint on Friday.
AM. I'm gonna make it be there.
AM, yes, PM would
Otherwise
be-
it's le-
yes.
It's illegal and it's awkward.
Chairman Merrill.
Yes, sir.
May I make a recommendation, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you nominate or ask Commissioner Pierce to check his references, please?
I love that.
Okay.
Cecil,
I
will you
have
please?
one other I will, no problem.
Thank you.
One other recommendation for that, not only his birthday, email is not appropriate, but for a phone call with his social security number. That way we know exactly who it is.
I don't,
We do not require that for tracers.
yeah, and that's PII, I don't believe that we use when we try their background check.
Okay,
Tracers doesn't use that, they just use the birthday.
They just use the
Yeah,
birth date.
okay.
so,
If a duplicate name came up and there was any question, then we could get some additional verification from him, but I have never seen where we had to do that.
Okay.
good question. All right, so the discussion is to move the process till next Friday. Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Chair, I move that we conduct a final interview with the top candidate on Friday, November 6th. Do we need a time?
Nope.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, so further discussion will be Friday, November 6th, 11 a.m. barbecue joint, followed by a tour of the facility with all commissioners, and the meetings with the senior staff. We will have to do a special meeting for when we're at the pool.
What time? 2 o'clock?
At yes, 2 o'clock. What's that?
12:30?
What's that?
We're gonna start eating at 11, we're surely not gonna be at the
So
restaurant for.
Right.
But we're gonna get for him to talk to the staff, for him to tour the
Oh.
place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, you know, the dog park, you know, we need to even go out there for him to see all that stuff out there.
He's actually been
I
there?
understand that, but
Okay,
still.
okay.
I would like to move that to the last part of it. That way, if Commissioner Singleton has to go,
But if we're making any decisions,
oh. yes.
right, so that's, I think, where we have to get square on what we think. So we know what the beginning of of that day is, now it's kind of
She needs
what's.
to be at the bed at 4.
Well, I need to pick my kid up at 2:30
Yeah,
So he's
so
in.
he's,
Okay.
so he needs to be back here.
because there's nobody to get her.
Okay.
Nobody.
Well, it seems like we should be able to do 12 to 1 at mostest out there. At,
Yes.
You know, satellite, 1 to 2, like the meeting, well, 1 to 1:30, 1 to 1:30 with the staff, and then 1:30
To
special
2.
meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
sounds
that,
good.
is that,
I like
is
it.
that a decent timeline?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Can you put a notice out for that?
I
Ladies.
can.
I greatly appreciate it.
Probably will.
Yeah.
We will make sure it gets
Yeah.
done.
All right.
And the agenda is director selection process or,
Director selection process, yeah.
And do we have to?
With senior staff.
Do we have to furnish a notice that you guys will be having lunch with him as?
Yes,
Yes.
please,
Okay.
please.
Barbecue joint.
you say with special staff? Special staff.
Senior staff.
Senior staff.
Yes, ma'am. They are special staff because there are the district staff and they're special and they're fantastic, but.
Yeah,
Like, sorry.
I worked in.
All right, further discussion?
So I prefer to say, because I.
Further discussion.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. There is nothing else on the agenda for tonight. I would like to take this brief moment to not only thank the senior staff for coming back in, everybody that came in to be part of the process from the public or the future commissioners, and I'd definitely like to thank this board for all their hard work as we've been through this process. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That being said,
I would like to make a motion to adjourn, please.
yes, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Meeting's adjourned at 8:58.